overrated. So they're coming in from opposite directions, but both have something to prove.
Yeah, overrate that, as they say. And two teams, by the way, that turned the ball over the least in the NBA. Thunder 1, Pacers 2. So they take care of the
directions, but both have something to prove.
Yeah, overrate that, as they say. And two teams, by the way, that turned the ball over the least in the NBA. Thunder 1, Pacers 2. So they take care of the ball. We should have a lot of opportunities to shoot at the basket. All right, the Thunder have been off since Wednesday. They held their first full practice yesterday afternoon, and after finding out that they'll face Indy in Game 1, here's Jalen Williams on his first impressions of the Pacers.
They play fast, and that's what kind of like fuels their whole identity.
They play the same way up 20 as they do down 20. They've got unbelievable integrity to the way that they do things, and that's why they're good.
Mark made a really good point. Like, they are feeling the exact same way we feel. You know what I mean? Like, they've had to win 3 series. We've had to win 3 series. So they're coming extremely.
We've seen over the last 40 years, only 5 teams have entered the finals with bigger odds to win it all. Oklahoma City is the largest favorite to win it all, entering a finals. Since we've seen over the last 40 years, only 5 teams have entered the finals with bigger odds to win it all. Oklahoma City is the largest favorite to win it all, entering a finals since.
I mean, Oklahoma City, they have the MVP in Shea, who has been unstoppable. The 30-point performances that we've seen from him just in the playoffs alone, the way he has the ball in his hands, can get on the hips of defenders, can get into the paint, create, score through contact, draw fouls, which I know some people don't like it, but that is a skill. And it puts so much pressure on the defense when opponents' defenders get into foul trouble. That is a problem because it changes the rotations, it changes the subbing patterns. The biggest advantage is Shea and his poise, his skill. He's poised, he is a calm leader, and he is consistent. Now, everybody talks about my whole life is consistent. That's what he said in an interview. He's so consistent in the way he plays and the way he carries himself. That is the biggest key and the biggest advantage for OKC.
Yeah, it's certainly the case. If you look at this, 147 free throw attempts this postseason. For all of you calling him the free throw merchant, that's only 38th all time. All the great players, by the way, go to the free throw line, and those previous players were doing it in an era where they weren't scoring as much as they're scoring now. So, look, Perk, how do you feel about this with OKC in their situation as they're the big favorites?
Oh, I feel good, especially like Drell just said. When you're talking about SGA, we're talking about the best perimeter player in basketball. Not just in this postseason, in basketball, knocking at the door of being the best player in the game. We know that he's going to go out there and get you 30 points a night. Damn it, he led the league in scoring. But as throughout these playoffs, we saw growth in SGA. We saw in Game 4 when he almost notched that 40-point triple-double. We seen him making guys around him better. This is not Jalen Brunson, right? And I say this with all due respect to Big Body Brunson. I'm a huge fan. But SGA is 6'6". SGA knows how to get to that mid-range. SGA has long arms. He could damn near scratch his ankles standing straight up. He has the mid-range game. So the pressure in him 94 feet, that's not going to work because he's faster than Jalen Brunson. And when he gets ahead of steam and get downhill, we know he's a finisher around the basket, and we definitely know that you can't stop him from finishing around the basket because he know how to get to the free throw line.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Perk, because think about it. If his shot's not falling, and this is SGA, what can he do? Get a layup. Yep. Or get to the free throw line. He can play his way into the game and stay on the floor even if his shot is not falling. And then if we take it just a step further with Oklahoma City as a team, if their shots aren't falling, that's okay because their biggest strength is their defense. So even when their offense isn't coming along and they're not hitting shots, they can keep themselves in the game because of the way they defend.
And that's a great point because think about this. They won the game. I believe it was Game 3 in Minnesota. They shot 9 for 33 from the three-point line and won that basketball game.
Right.
Yeah.
The 9 for 33.
Yeah, Game 4. It was Game 4.
I think that was in Minnesota. Game 4.
It was Game
Excuse
4.
me, Game 4, yeah.
So, real quick, though, let's talk about.
And won that basketball game.
Right.
Yeah.
The 9 for 33.
Yeah, Game 4. It was Game 4.
I think that was in Minnesota. Game 4.
It was Game 4.
Excuse me, Game 4, yeah.
So, real quick, though, let's talk about the Pacers for a second. They closed out the East with a big win on Saturdays. We're going to look back at that particular game and how they did it. We got plenty of time to talk about OKC and this matchup. Let's start off here. Pascal Siakam showed up with a big Game 6. 31 points in Game 6. Led the way for Indiana. Look at the type of names you're talking about here in regards to Pascal Siakam. Only Reggie Miller putting up performances like that. So let's start off here. Tyrese Halliburton, way too open here, Andrea.
Why are you backing up, Kat? You can't leave him that open.
Oh, look at Caitlin.
Yeah.
Come on. Next, we've got Tyrese Halliburton again in the fourth quarter. Here he hits the tough floater.
He came along in the fourth quarter, George. I mean, 21 points, 13 assists, but he turned it up in the fourth. And this was just, he was playing with him at this point.
Way downtown. Scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. Let's take a listen to the postgame with
Our
Halliburton.
two star players, Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal Siakam, put our team on their backs, and they just decided that we were not going to lose this game today.
Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers get a win. The biggest star is the Pacers' biggest star right there. But Pascal Siakam, as you saw, won the MVP for that particular series. It was a split, though, 5-4 in favor of Siakam, so it was as close can get. Perk, did they get it right?
I believe so. I tweeted it out before they announced it that I thought that Pascal Siakam should have been the MVP, and he was. I mean, he was consistent throughout the Eastern Conference. We saw that drop-off with Tyrese Halliburton between game for game, but it wasn't that for Pascal Siakam. And Andrea talked about, you know, Halliburton taking over that fourth quarter in the highlights, but there is no fourth quarter without Pascal Siakam doing what he did in the first, second, and third quarter. I think when they get down to the half-court sets, he was the one that got them through. He was the mismatch that the Knicks couldn't figure out. It didn't matter. If you put a smaller guy on him, he was taking them to that elbow mid-post area. If you put a bigger guy on him, he was out sprinting Karl Anthony Towns, getting out in transition on makes and misses. So he was the guy, well-deserved. I thought it was close, but I would have gave it to Pascal Siakam as well.
All right, well, there you have it. Big Perk has laid down the law. All right, folks were sleeping on the Pacers all season long, and now they got no choice but to wake up, Perk and Andrea, because even with the recent success, the Pacers entered the season with 50-1 odds to reach the finals, which is tied for the third longest odds to make the series over the last 40 years. So, Perk, what's impressed you most? Actually, let's start with Andrea. What's impressed you most about this run?
Well, when we talk about the Pacers, it's just their offense and the way that they play together on the offensive end, and also the way that they kind of had to get it out the mud. And they were resilient. They had a ton of injuries, and they pulled together, but they played together. And that's what stands out about this team. When we look at this Indiana Pacers offense and the togetherness that they play with, this is going to be huge when they face this OKC defense. Watch Nesmith get into the paint. Jalen Brunson gets beat on this drive, and it puts the defense in rotation. Now Mikal Bridges has to come over, and you got Miles Turner wide open for the three. You're not going to be able to go one-on-one against OKC. You've got to beat OKC with the pass. That's what they do here against the Knicks. Two players on the ball because Tyrese Halliburton gets on the drive. Wide open three. Now, one of the keys is going to be knocking down these wide open three-pointers because we saw Minnesota was not able to do that. They had wide open threes, but they didn't hit them. Pacers, spacing, offense, togetherness, four guys outside of the three-point line. The drive, the alley-oop, the slam for Obi Toppin. It's that togetherness, being connected on the offensive end, getting into the paint, making a pass, making one more pass, and playing together, especially with OKC's defense. That's how the Pacers got here. That's what it's going to take if they want to win the NBA Finals.
Awesome stuff, Andrea. Still to come here on NBA Today, Luka tells us exactly how LeBron has already impacted the rest of his career. Could we be in store for the best Luka yet? We'll discuss. Plus, what's to this?
One cup of fresh aged cheddar for a new cheddar crust pizza sent down to our kitchen from
To this.
One cup of fresh aged cheddar for a new cheddar crust pizza sent down to our kitchen from Papa John's.
At Ace, however you grill, we've got the perfect one for you.